You have cleared the early bosses. You have learned how to survive. But now, the game isn't asking if you can hit hard anymore. It's asking if you understand power. Enemies are smarter. Windows for error are smaller. And raw damage alone will not carry you through. This is when the mid-game starts. And if you want to keep winning, you need change. You need a weapon that works with precision, a build that works with intention, and a strategy that puts power in the right place at the right time. It's time for Moonveil Katana. The answer isn't just a stronger weapon, it's control. Moonveil isn't strong because it does damage, it's strong because it restructures fights. It gives you reach without commitment, pressure without overextension, and punishment without panic. But this only works if you build around it correctly. So this session is about finding that leverage, not rushing power, but assembling it. Getting Moonveil is simple in theory. You head into the Gale Tunnel, on the border of Caelid and Limgrave. The space is tight. The enemies there hit harder than expected. The boss, the Magma Worm, tests spacing, recovery, and patience. This fight is important, not because it's difficult, but because it reinforces the lesson. Control matters more than brute strength. Moonveil isn't handed to you. It's taken under pressure. You don't outdamage the worm. You respect spacing, you punish recovery, and you stay alive long enough to win. And when it drops, you feel a shift. Moonveil doesn't encourage aggression, it encourages intent. The weapon alone doesn't work. This is where most builds fail. Because Moonveil demands investment, not just wielding. The first requirement is intelligence. Not as a secondary stat, not as a bonus, but as a pillar. The weapon scales, yes, but its Ash of War scales your decision making. Without intelligence, Transient Moonlight becomes expansive, hesitant, and unreliable. Dexterity supports it. Vigor protects mistakes. Mind sustains pressure. Without this foundation, Moonveil is just a katana with expectations you can't meet. To make this build work, we need to take a look at our leveling to optimize our outcome. Moonveil scales with dexterity and intelligence. Its minimum requirements are 12 strength, 18 dexterity, and 23 intelligence. But requirements aren't the build. Mid-game priorities. The figure? Between 30 and 40. You will get hit, but this keeps mistakes survivable. Mind, 20 to 25. Transient Moonlight is the weapon, and it uses FP. Dexterity, 18 to 25. Scales physical damage and recovery. Intelligence, 30 to 40. This is where the Moonveil comes alive and gets its damage. Damage without FP, support makes this weapon feel hollow. FP without survivability makes it reckless. Balance matters here. Now, it's time for some talismans. We add this to let control become sustainable. The Carrion Filigreed Crest. It lowers FP cost of skills, allowing repeated Transient Moonlight without hesitation. That means spamming your abilities way more often. You can buy it from Master EG after clearing the manor and starting the Witch's questline. Step 1. Make your way to Carrion Manor. You'll need to clear the knights and unlock the manor's interior. Watch out, because the manor is full of high damage sorcery and melee enemies. Step 2. Defeat the Royal Knight Loretta. She hits hard with ice sorcery, so either summon a spirit ally or stay aggressive, dodging her casting. Step 3. Now you can enter Witch Rani's tower to start a questline in her service. This enables buying the crest for 5,000 runes at Master EG. He's located just before the Carrion Manor entrance, and also lets you upgrade the Moonveil with some Summer Smithing Stones. The Green Turtle Talisman. Faster stamina recovery, supports dodge, punish, and reset loops. Location: Summon Water Village. Inside a cave that's locked behind the Stone Sword key. Once you unlock the cave, you make your way past the giant turtles, and the talisman is in the chest behind them. Radagon Sword Seal. Boost your figure, endurance, strength, and dexterity at the cost of taking more damage. This is enormous early and mid-game value, especially for meeting stat thresholds. If you followed our previous video, you may already have this talisman. We picked it up early for the Bloodhound Fang build, so don't panic if it's already in your inventory. Critical warning though, before you pick it up, spend your runes. After collecting the Radagon Sword Seal, you die and you will not recover any unspent runes. The location is Fort Ferret in Caelid. You can sprint straight through, grab it, accept death, and move on. These talismans provide consistent sustain, tempo control, and damage amplification, ensuring the Moonveil doesn't just hit hard, but it really works with your strategy. The Moonveil is powerful, but some enemies demand attention management, and that's where summons come in. The ENGVEL Knight is your tank, your distraction, and your leverage. He draws aggro, so you can control spacing and punish openings. He doesn't just deal damage, he creates windows for your skill to shine. Where to get it? You find the summon in the Murkwater Catacombs. It drops after defeating the Banished Knight inside. ENGVEL is especially good early to mid-game for caster builds or melee builds that need a distraction. Step 1. Clear your way through the Murkwater Catacombs. Watch out for traps and smaller enemies. Step 2. Defeat the Banished Knight ENGVEL. He hits hard, but the room allows for spacing to punish overextension. Step 3. Collect the ENGVEL Knight summon, equip it, and use it to bait attacks and manage pressure. With the ENGVEL Knight summon, aggressive enemies are now manageable. You can bait attacks, reset pressure, and recover stamina mid-fight. This is how control scales from the weapon to the environment. Once the build comes together, the difference isn't damage numbers, it's tempo. The fights slow down. Your breathing steadies. The enemies act first. You stop chasing openings, you create them. The Moonveil doesn't reward aggression, it rewards understanding. Understanding is spacing. Understanding is recovery. Understanding when to disengage instead of forcing a win. And that's why this weapon fits the mid-game. Because Elden Ring isn't asking you to hit harder anymore, it's asking you to think cleaner. This is where the game stops being about survival and starts being about expression. The early game rewards persistence. The mid-game demands structure. The Moonveil isn't the answer to everything, but it's the answer to one question. Do you want to win faster, or do you want to win on purpose? That's the shift. And that's what this build enables. Next session, this gets tested properly. Against enemies that punish hesitation. Against fights that collapse space instantly. Against bosses that don't care how much damage you can do, only whether you deserve the opening. That's where the Moonveil proves itself. And that's where understanding finally becomes power. If this video helped you see how Moonveil and the build came together, hit like and subscribe to make sure you catch the latest sessions, guides, and strategies as soon as they drop. Every like and subscribe helps me keep making these deep dives, showing you how to turn understanding into mastery.